Hello, this is Scripting with Gavin, and this video we're gonna make a leaderboard with Roblox's built-in leaderboard system. So to start, we're gonna make a script in server script service. You can name it whatever you want, but I'll name it leaderboard. And we are going to make well, first we need to get the players service. Local players equals game get service players. So you can do game.players to get the service too, but if there's I don't know, some problem and it's not in game yet, then it won't exist and it'll throw an error or whatever. So it's best to do get service because it will always return the service you want. So we're gonna do we need to make a little stats thing for the player, for each player. So to do that, we need to get when a player is added to the game. So this event is called when a player is added to the game, and we're gonna make a little function here, and in the argument it gives us the player that was just added. So yeah, I was going to put player here. Actually, I'll keep it there because then you know what it's supposed to be, but this is not necessary. It's just to help you know what type of variable something is, but you don't necessarily need it. Anyways, we got the player, so we want to make the stats for the player. So local stats equals instance.new, and instance.new literally makes a new instance. It's the same thing as clicking the plus sign and clicking one of these. So we're gonna make a folder, and you could set the parent as the second argument of the folder, but I'm gonna get to why we don't do that a little later. So we're gonna name it stats.name. Wait, is this I can't tell if this is okay, this is what the heck did I just do? Where's the end? Yeah, I just deleted it somehow. Does it always blue? I'm I'm geeking out, right? Stats.name equals we need to name it something specific so Roblox knows it's a leaderboard. We need to name it leader stats. And that'll tell Roblox, yo, this is a leaderboard, bro. And Roblox will be like, okay. Anyways, we're just gonna set the name of it right now and not the parent because I want to I want to put stats inside the stats. So, well, just one for this video, but you can put as many as you want. But to put stats in there, it has to be a value. So I'm gonna name this one money, and we're gonna do instance.new, and we're gonna make an int value, and this can be any value, I think. I might be wrong, but no one usually does anything but numbers. So int value is just an integer value. It can't be a decimal, just whole numbers. So yeah, we're gonna make that. We gotta set the name, money dot name, and I think, yeah, this is blue and money isn't, so I'm guessing this is like some namespace, so I should probably rename this to like leader stats so it like doesn't conflict. But yeah, we set the name of the value we just made. We call it money. And for the parent, we can set money's parent because it's inside leader stats. Money.parent equals leader stats. And then we can finally set leader stats parent to player. And we set leader stats parent last because this is the folder that like if you wanted to access the stuff in leader stats with other scripts, you I would want to know that everything will always be in there before leader stats is ever in the player. So because this can cause problems if you set, well, let me visualize this sort of. So if we have this folder, and it's just a folder, but if we have like a texture in it, and let's say the folder is supposed to go into replicated storage, what the heck? That just lagged so hard. It's supposed to go in here, but if the order we're doing it is, we're making the folder, and then the texture, and we're putting it in the folder, and then we're putting it where it needs to be. But if we do it the other way, where we just make the folder and put it where it needs to be, and then we make the texture and put it in the folder, in that little time frame where the texture isn't made yet, other scripts could be looking for it, and when they try to access it, it's not there yet, so it's just like, it just throws an error because it doesn't exist, which is why we just, we put everything inside the folder first, and then we put it in here, because then all we need to do on our scripts is wait until this folder exists where it needs to be, and we will know everything inside of it will already be there. So we won't need to do multiple checks to see if something is where it should be. Hopefully you understood that, but yeah, we got set up like this. If you want, the default value for an int value is 0, but if you wanted to make it a different value, you would do money.value equals, I don't know, whatever number you want, but I want it to start at 0, so I'm just gonna put it at 0, or put nothing. And if we test this, John, wowee, the leaderboard's there with our money. And yeah, we got the leader stats, got the money. You can change it. It changes, but we probably want to like have a way you can gain money without needing to change it in here, because normal players won't be able to do that. So we can let's get $1 from free models, because I only know how to script. I can't make models or whatever, and if they are, they're like really bad looking. But yeah, we got this cool money, this dollar. I'll name it dollar. And we can no, I'm not gonna put a script in that. That won't work. We need to put a click detector inside it. Now, in this script, we can check. Well, in this like specific project, I'm gonna do workspace actually no, I'll search by the name of the thing. So its name is Dala. So what I'm gonna do, let's make a function first. We'll call it Dala. And what we're gonna do with this function is we're gonna have an argument for Dala. And we're going to get the click detector. We'll only need it once, so I'm not gonna make a variable. I'm just gonna do Dala dot click detector. Here I would, yeah, I'll do a wait for child in case, because I don't really know how Roblox loads all of this stuff. It might be how I did it, or it might be the bad way that I showed. So I'm gonna do $, wait for child, click detector, actually I'm gonna make a variable just so I can see what it's supposed. There's like a method, or no, an event that you're looking for from click detector. I think it's called mouse click. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna go in blind and hopefully it works. Dot mouse click connect function. There's no autofill because it's like a wait for child. It doesn't know if it's there or not. Also, I forgot to set $, this like thingy, but again, you don't need to do that. I just do it because I like. So, mouse click, connect function. Click detectors have an event called mouse click, I think, and when a player clicks, the argument it gives is the player itself, or themselves. And I'm gonna make it a variable. So the function is going to be a variable. This way I can do this connection disconnect. So basically what this does is the first time the dollar is clicked, we're gonna make it so this event doesn't run again, or yeah, this connection doesn't run again, and that will stop like if the server was lagging, then the player could click on a dollar like multiple times before it disappears, which would be duping money, and we don't want that. So that stops that. And what we do now, we have the players, so we're just gonna do a local leader stats equals player wait for, oh yeah, I need to make it player. And now it should, yeah, okay. That's also a good part of setting a variable type. You can like do these methods or whatever, or it'll like help autofill methods for that type because it assumes that's what it is. So player wait for child, we're gonna wait for the leader stats, and that's all we need to wait for. It's insane, really. And now we can just do leader stats dot money. And we don't need a wait for child for this because we know it's going to exist when leader stats exists. So leader stats dot money dot value plus equals, which just means this is equal to itself plus 10. And then we're just gonna destroy dollar. So if this works correctly, the player will click on the dollar. It will add 10 to the player's money and then destroy itself. And now we need to look for dollars in the workspace. So to do that, we need to do two things. First is a for loop. Actually, yeah, the first thing is the for loop. Unless... well, I don't really know what should go before what, but I'll just do... well, I guess it's better to do an event before a like normal code. So we're gonna check workspace dot descendant added connect function. So basically this runs whenever a descendant is added to the workspace. And there's another one called child added, which runs when a child is added to the workspace. And children are the immediate, like, literal children of the workspace. So it's the camera, terrain, and all that. But it doesn't count things inside of children. So that's why we do descendant added. Because if we added a dollar, but we put it in the base plate, then it wouldn't work. So, but now it does, because we're looking for descendants. So it returns the argument descendant, and that's yeah, that's just an instance. And we're going to do a little check. Actually, we'll do the check over here. It's going to be if $.name equals or not equal $, then return end. What this does is it basically stops this function if the argument we have isn't named $, which means it's not a $. And we do it a reverse if statement is what I like to call it, because if we did a normal if statement, then we'd have to like indent all this stuff, and it would like it'd all be like this, and it doesn't look, it's like not very clean to have a bunch of indentations when you don't need them, and this solves that. So basically, if it is $, then all this code below it runs. If it's not, then none of it runs. And now we can just do the $, function on the descendant. So we're running this function, and the descendant is $, and if it is $, then it does this stuff. And then finally, we need a for loop. So for underscore, which is usually the index, but we don't need the index, so I'm just doing underscore to like, so it's an empty variable. For underscore v in pairs, and v stands for value. In pairs is, it's like for each iteration in the loop, it gives you the index and the value of the table it's iterating through. So the table goes in these parentheses here, and the table is workspace get children. I guess it could be get descendants. Probably. Well, get descendants isn't a thing. You have to do true. Get children true, I think. Let's see. Get descendants. Roblox. Is that a thing? Oh, it is. Get. I know one of the things that works with descendants, or it's like it requires you to do like a recursive loop or whatever, but not this one. So just don't mind what I was freaking out about. Basically, what this does is it gets all the descendants from workspace, and it puts them into a table, and this table is iterated through with this for loop in pairs. So it basically goes through each descendant in the workspace, and we're going to run $, on it. And we need to do this. We need to do both of these because when you run the studio, these things that are already in the workspace won't always be loaded immediately, but sometimes they will. So for the things that are already loaded immediately before the script runs, you check them with the while loop, but sometimes, a lot of the time actually, they won't be loaded fast enough, so you need to check when it's added, and so that's why we do both checks here, and hopefully this works. We click, and it gives money. Yippee! Now we can just duplicate this a bunch of times. And even though we don't have a script in each of them, it's actually bad to put a script in each of them, because if you wanted to change that script, you'd have to change it for every dollar you have. So this is the better way to do it. And you don't have to check if it's a dollar by its name. You can do other things like look at its tags or whatever, but maybe that's for a later video. Let me know if you want to know that. But yeah, that's the basics of Roblox leaderboards. Or yeah, uh, that's it. Bye bye.